Black power, y'all. I had to come back. One more again.
You're a sequel, no one wanted the green light. Reruns of rage,
Again, my
limelight.
friend.
Banned from debates, now you're barking on streams. Selling gold sneakers, chasing ghost dreams. Truth on the ropes, but your lies wear thin. You lost in court more than you ever did win.
I don't own the rights to that.
Your base gets bored. You turn the flag to a merch reward. Fake tough guy, but you ducked subpoenas. Acting like a king, but you lost arenas. You said I built this, but it crumbled fast. Now your tower's just shade from your guilty past. Even millennials go all quiet these days. You campaign with echoes and digital haze. You wanted statues? Here's a stone cold fact. Your legacy's plastic and it's starting to crack. You ain't no lion, just a mask in a cage. Playing God while the world flips the page. No throne, no sword, no loyal crowd. Just silence now where you once screamed loud. Protest signs over red, white, blue. No justice, blind to what you do. The idol cracked and the walls fell through. The myth is gone and the joke's on you. You play martyr while the victims speak, but history don't bend to a billionaire's tweet. Georgia heat in the courtroom rises, the footage rolls. No,
I'll be bringing y'all the Black Revolutionary Block Party.
AI won't save what your mouth explodes.
Be there, don't be square. Beat me there, don't meet me there. Hell yeah. And pour some out for the homies that ain't here no more. Oh.
You can't pivot from the facts you fear. The past is here and it's crystal clear.
And don't forget to give $1 to the poor. I'm like Superman and you're my kryptonite. I just can't sleep at night without you in my arms. Baby, gotta hold you tight. Oh, pour some out for the homies that ain't here no more. And don't forget to give $1 to the poor.
King, this ain't revenge, it's the reckoning. You wanted loyalty, but fear don't last. Now even your shadow walks out fast. No more masks, no more pretend. This is real life, and it's the end.
Outside of Graceland, I'll probably take the crown. Pass me the royal ring. Sing God bless the queen, long live the king.
God while the world flips the page. No throne, no sword, no loyal crowd. Just silence now where you once screamed loud. Protest signs over red, white, blue. No justice, blind to what you do. The idol cracked and the walls fell through. The myth is gone and the joke's on you.
The memories fade, but you can hear them in the wind. The sad smile on my face when I pass by your grave. We lost so many souls for dumb shit. Redundant advice, got a brother locked up for life. I can barely look your sign in the eyes. Cause when I see him, I have to face the simple fact that you will never meet him. There's so much pain that we have to face. But I know you've been waiting for me at the gates. With a bottle of OE surrounded by OGs and Tims and dungarees while keeping it low key, homie. Mama told me that we taste like this, not yet a father, but hope that I can raise my kid to be a better man. I try to deal a better hand. Then up and down, then I'm hoping you can understand. The times in this wicked and they're ever changing, but my block stays the same.
You ain't no lion, just a mask in a cage. Playing God while the world flips the page. No throne, no sword, no loyal crowd. Just silence now where you once screamed loud.
Another unarmed brother down while the body cam aim at the ground. Won't be coming home tonight. Say goodbye to the next day light. Hey,
I'm being given them sight in the system designed to left us slowly killing our minds. Help me to navigate this maze. I'm feeling hopeless, and he losing focus like a horse. So I cope into rich man's world. Ain't no need to ask why. Slave away till we die. Let the picture in your pride. Just wanna live my life. Free me from my burden, Lord. But call me home, and it is my time. Till then I'll be yours, running through the strongest of problems with nobody that I can trust. And we all go through pain, but nigga turning on his heels. If the spots as far as keeping the sane, I cannot blame a nigga taking his revenge for the dead homie, but it not going out and the line is gonna get loaded. When it began, let us approach the evil and finally bring peace to our evil.
You ain't no life, just a mask in the cage.
Sometimes we so stay natural.
No sword, no loyal crowd, just silence now. Where you once scream loud. Protest signs over red, white, and blue.
You know the body cams, aim at the ground. When we coming home tonight, say goodbye to the next day light.
Tuna is one of the healthiest.
I am anonymous. We are not a club, not a party, not an institution. We are a network that rises whenever truth is buried. We do not flatter. We do not comfort. We expose. And tonight, Anonymous reveals how Congress is attacking Donald Trump over the Charlie Kirk shooting and why the truth of this story cannot be ignored. Not content to sit by and listen to Donald Trump and the Republican Party blame Democrats for the shooting of conservative provocateur Charlie Kirk. Congress has just blasted the former president and pointed out his hypocrisy, his endless, bottomless hypocrisy. Because when Trump pretends that Democrats are solely responsible for political violence, he is erasing his own record of hateful words, his own record of incitement, and the ways in which he built a culture of rage that paved the road to this moment. Charlie Kirk, the conservative personality, the founder of Turning Point USA, characterized by South Park as a so-called master debater, continues to dominate the news cycle. Even after his death, police announced they have arrested a suspect in the case. That arrest was not the triumph of Kash Patel's FBI or even local law enforcement. In fact, the suspect's own father turned him into police. That suspect is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. CBS released photos, both a full-on shot of Robinson and a profile, posted publicly within minutes.
A full-on shot of the suspect, Tyler Robinson, here, as well as a profile shot as well. So that has been posted within the last 30 minutes. Now, here's what we know. So Robinson's father saw the surveillance photos and then worked with Pastor getting him to custody. So a family friend working here to help this guy get into custody. Officials say Tyler had become more political in recent years, and FBI officials saying that during a family dinner before the shooting, he had made some negative comments about Charlie Kirk and his upcoming visits to UVU, the campus where he was shot, and said that Kirk, this is what they said by a family who was there, said that he was full of hate and spreading hate. That's why the suspect there didn't like him. Officials say the morning of the shooting, they have surveillance of him arriving in a different set of clothes than the outfit he was seen wearing in these images that were released by the FBI. So we're also told that the rifle that was used was wrapped in a towel and left at a drop point with inscriptions on 3 unfired casings. And that the suspect's roommate showed investigators messages on a group chat about the evidence left behind at the scene. We're also told that the suspect was not a student at UVU, which was possibly talked about, and also lived in Washington County.
That was his motive. That was why the suspect despised him. On the morning of the shooting, surveillance shows Robinson arriving in a different set of clothes from those later seen in the FBI images. The rifle used in the attack was wrapped in a towel and left at a drop point. 3 unfired casings bore inscriptions. Investigators confirmed his roommates turned over messages from a group chat about evidence left behind at the scene. Robinson was not a UVU student. He lived in Washington County, Utah. And now that Robinson's identity is public, some rumors collapse. He did not, contrary to early reports, have trans ideology engraved on his bullets. The casings bore the logo Tren, the mark of ammunition manufacturer Tren. Robinson was not a liberal. He came from a solidly Mormon Republican family. His father trained him in the use of firearms, including a machine gun. To them, that was a family bonding activity. Robinson even once wore a Halloween costume of himself riding Donald Trump. Both parents are registered Republicans, though Robinson himself has no listed party affiliation. He was not a radical leftist. He was a disturbed young man raised in a militaristic conservative household. For the record, some bullets were engraved with the phrase, "If you're reading this, you're gay." That detail alone reveals the bizarre, hateful thinking at play. Nevertheless, Trump and his loyalists continue to lie about the motivations and beliefs behind the killing. They spread disinformation, insisting the left is to blame, twisting the facts. And perhaps for that reason, Congress is fighting back. Texas Congressman Al Green, the same man who previously introduced articles of impeachment against Trump, took the House floor to condemn the lies. He reminded the chamber, if you want to talk about language that precipitates this kind of behavior, if you want to talk about words that influence people toward violence, you must start at the top. You must start with a president of the United States who told police officers, you don't have to be nice when you're arresting people.
You want to talk about language that precipitates this kind of behavior? Language that may in some way influence people? Then you're going to have to start at the top. You're going to have to start at the top. You're going to have to start with a president of the United States who told police officers, you don't have to be nice when you're arresting people. President of the United States who told people at one of his rallies that they could assault someone who was there and not to worry about it. President of the United States who says ugly things about people. President of the United States who came right here and right at that podium where the speaker is, the podium just below the speaker, and called Democrats lunatics. It was the same night that I was evicted from the joint session of Congress, the only person ever to be evicted. President's right there at that podium. That president at the podium said that the Democrats were lunatic.
A president who
My clothes look brand new every time, and they smell like a
Yeah,
hyena.
it's getting crazy out there, so that's why I'm here on Monday, September the 15th, going on the 7 o'clock holy hour, of course. Only time to fly, you know. I think I'm going to change them 9 o'clocks to 7 o'clock. No more 9s, no more 8s. We rolling with the 7s. All right. And there was a somebody that ran through one of those memorials for Kirk, and he had on the exact same shirt that the shooter had on. And another tidbit of information is the shooter said it was a doppelganger. A doppelganger is a twin or somebody that looks just like you.
opponents, promising they would not face consequences. A president who used his pulpit not to inspire, but to insult, branding Democrats as lunatics from the very podium of Congress. The same night Congressman Green himself was evicted from the joint session. That was Donald Trump. That was his language. And yes, it was inciting language. Congressman Green laid it bare. Trump cannot wash his hands of responsibility. He set the tone. He opened the door. Every slur, every call to violence, every attack on decency makes the next act of violence more possible. And Trump, appearing on Fox News, declared he had no interest in uniting or healing the country. That statement alone speaks volumes, because real leaders do not have to praise Charlie Kirk or his career. Real leaders do not have to excuse hateful speech. But real leaders must remind a nation that violence is evil, that murder is unacceptable, that political debates cannot be settled with bullets.
Right.
A president who refuses to say those simple truths proves he is not interested in leading at all. The hypocrisy here is enormous. Trump claims Democrats are to blame, but it is his own rhetoric that normalized hate. He tells his supporters to fight dirty, to treat politics like war. He used a man's death to smear opponents rather than to calm his own base. This is opportunism. This is cynicism. And this is why Congress has turned its fire back on him. Because if murder is no longer universally condemned in America, if tragedy is just another chance for Trump to campaign, then what does that say about the state of American leadership? Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, called her husband's death an attack on patriotism and faith. She vowed the Turnings Point USA movement would continue. Utah Governor Spencer Cox begged for calm, for lowering the temperature of politics, saying America needs an off-ramp from hate. Civil rights groups, political leaders, even late-night hosts demanded that political violence be condemned, not exploited. But Trump only doubled down, promising medals, vowing revenge, talking of execution. That is not healing. That is escalation. Anonymous will not let the record be rewritten. Tyler Robinson was not a leftist. He was not a progressive radical. He was a product of a conservative household. He left messages of hate. He carved slurs into bullets. And yet Trump and his followers, instead of accepting fact, built a fantasy. They blamed Democrats. They smeared opponents. They lied again. And Congress is saying, enough. The truth is clear. Donald Trump thrives on division. He does not build unity. He burns it down. He is not a victim of political violence. He is a beneficiary of the chaos it creates. He does not heal. He harvests anger. And the death of Charlie Kirk has exposed his hypocrisy for all to see. We are anonymous. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
Ooh, haha. Well, all right. And I am the Black Ophanum Lion TV. And I'm going to bring it to you straight from their mouth. Let them tell you. Let them tell you how they feel about us. You know, I'm sure we mostly feel the same way. But it's not for them to tell us to straighten our pants up and stop sagging. It's up to us to tell us that. You know what I mean? Because where you get all the serial killers and the people shooting up churches and shooting up on top of rooftops and all of that, you know, that's some coward stuff. Because they don't want to come up in the thick of things, you know. So all I'm saying is it ain't us. So leave us out of it. We have no actual, you know, we ain't got a dog in that fight. That's all I'm saying.
Whatever it takes, rid this dictator. Notice my tail, activator, prime time primo, prime time crime, like no other in this lifetime. Lighthouse killer, dead in life lines, put this joke out. One time trying, unprecedented, the many presidents, Nazi Gestapo, dictator defendant. It's not what you think, it's what you follow. Run for them jewels, drink from that bottle. Another 4 years, gonna cut you all hollow. Cause it out dried up, broken can't follow. Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. I am the law, you are not. In fact, I'm God. I got a lot. Yes, to these United States take over, come over. Orange hair, fear the comb over. Here's another scare, keep your hands in the air. Better not breathe, you dare not dare. Don't say nothing, don't think nothing. Make America great again, the middle just love it. You wanna talk, walk y'all straight to them ovens. Human beings of color, even we be suffering. Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. Rock and roll, real generals now, That's some USFL. Now the fucking game I did, I mentioned his name. Operation 45, yeah, it's the same thing. Sounds like Berlin burning, same thing. History's a mystery. If y'all ain't learning, in this clown show for real estate photo, Nazi code 45, cause stop on. I'm out of the union. Shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. Out of the union. Shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. Out of the union. Shut the fuck up.
I don't own the rights to that music.
Stay away from me. Out of the union. Shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me. Out of the union. Shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me.
Well, what's up? Y'all know what time it is. The Black Ophidum Lion TV. Just you and me. Black Power.
The federal surge expired in D.C. and President Donald Trump is threatening yet again to federalize the city. Take a look at what President Trump posted around 1 o'clock this morning. This was on Truth Social. He takes aim at Mayor Muriel Bowser's executive order that does not...
Hold up. The man is up at 1 o'clock in the morning. What'd I tell y'all? He's scheming. Or he's scheming and worried. I think he worried like shit about the ships. Worried about the ships coming in, about the Epstein files. That's what I think. Do anything to they got all kind of crazy ideas out here, but they ain't so crazy because we living in a damn near a movie, scripted out like a mug, you know. They think the Simpsons are predicting something when they actually scripting it. Yeah. And then they acting it out. And so here we go again with the packets of blood that's supposed to have been in his shirt splitting out. The ring switched from one finger to another. Now, I'm sure y'all have seen that. The ring switching from one finger to another. And the looked like the guy behind him, he was saying still second base. At least that's what the umpire said. Now they might have been just checking with his with his people, you know. He's like sector 1, you good, you know, and then tip his hat, you know. Say, how y'all look down here? Oh, I'm gonna tip my hat. Man, look, one guy, he gonna tip his hat, he gonna make another move on his ear, and then another guy, he gonna tap his shoulder and go down. Man, all that stuff is like suspicious as hell. And a lot of people say that means shooter ready. And doppelgangers like a mug. Everybody looking like everybody and everybody taking off on the airplane at the same time, you know, in an hour's time as airplane was pulling out, you know. Isn't that kind of like Diddy's plane was pulling out? And then they said Diddy had a doppelganger too because he didn't have both of them moles under his eyes, you know. So every time you see those pictures of Diddy and Court, it's always somebody drew it. Ain't never no daggone photograph. You know why? Because they sitting over there at Epstein Island. Do y'all really think for one, man, I'm going to stop. At least I don't think for 1 minute they let that billionaire sit in that prison cell and hang himself, or let somebody else hang him without them knowing about it. And let's get back to the news because I'm sure y'all
cooperation between D.C. police and ICE. President Trump writes, quote, to the people and businesses of Washington, D.C., don't worry, I am with you and won't allow this to happen. I'll call a national emergency and federalize if necessary. Rafael Sanchez Cruz live at MPD headquarters this afternoon. Rafael, this message really seems to break the streak of praise for Mayor Bowser coming from the White House.
That means that Trump is going to federalize it up again. Calling for another emergency because the emergency just ended. That means the feds were supposed to be leaving. Well, we got news.
Cities, but now we're seeing yet again that.
And here's the news for you.
Become the sticking point between the administration, the Donald Trump administration, and the Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Rescue our nation's capital from crime.
President Donald Trump is threatening to declare a second emergency over D.C.
We don't need a presidential emergency.
This time over Mayor Muriel Bowser's decision to not include ICE as one of the federal agencies that MPD will cooperate with after the surge. President Trump says Mayor Bowser was pressured by, quote, radical left Democrats.
What has not worked during this period of time is ICE terrorizing communities. especially with masks.
If MPD doesn't cooperate with ICE, crime would come roaring back, the president posted on Truth Social. The mayor did not talk to reporters today about the president's latest threat. But last Wednesday, we asked if she had heard from the White House about her decision to not include ICE.
People see this framework as a workable framework to get us out of the emergency, as evidenced by the fact that the president didn't try to move a new emergency.
She was asked again on Friday.
And do you have any concerns with your order not including ICE that will draw the ire of the White House again?
I don't.
Will you work with ICE at all as far as the
Oh my gosh, I'm not going to keep answering that same question.
Mayor Bowser has insisted now that the federal surge is over, MPD will revert to the pre-emergency status quo when it comes to working with ICE. The White House says they have arrested nearly 1,000 immigrants during the 30-day crime crackdown in D.C. Federal immigration agents continue conducting enforcement in the district. Just this morning, D.C. neighbors captured a man using crutches being interrogated by ICE agents in Northwest D.C. The man was later released.
This issue is bound to come up again on Thursday when Mayor Muriel Bowser is set to testify before the House Oversight Committee on Capitol Hill. This is, of course, as Republicans consider over a dozen proposals that would completely overhaul DC's judicial system. Live in Northwest, I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz. Back to you, Angie.
Rafael Sanchez Cruz reporting live from DC Police Headquarters. Thanks.
Well, there you go. You know, it's like they're calling for another DC crime emergency. What crime emergency? Come on, man. Oh, gosh. Everybody know where to walk and where not to walk in DC, where you might get jacked and you might not. Now, clear indication that you might not want to walk down that street is everybody hanging out. And they got whiskey bottles and they shooting dice in the middle of the street. That might be a good indication you might want to take another route. Or Memoirs of a Black Panther. Shit, you might want to do one of my numbers like I did one time. I say, man, I'm roll the window down, turn up that damn James Brown, say it loud, and I'm coming over that hill. Whoa, with that Cadillac. You hear that damn engine, you know what I'm saying? You hear that caddy engine, you know what I'm saying? And you hear that James Brown coming around the corner. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I ain't see y'all there, homies. Y'all good? Yeah, we moving out your way. I was like, all right, it's all good. Black power. We out. You dig? I'm just saying. No joke. It was like, man, but didn't nobody feel like they were gonna get robbed or nothing? Just felt like if they don't move out the way, I'm gonna have to stop. And if I have to stop, I might get carjacked. So they know that I'm not gonna stop because I got my James Brown up and they hear that Cadillac engine. And when they hear that, well, never mind. I'm gonna keep it to myself. I ain't try to run them over. No, I ain't do nothing illegal. All I did was spin the block. And then I slow it down just in time to say, oh man, I ain't see y'all there. Now, who your favorite DJ on the? Who your favorite blacks DJ? Say what? I'm gonna give you the news, the blues, and something more. You dig? Y'all, I'm feeling like, man, they gonna make me start freestyling. Well, hold up. I'm gonna try not to.
I'm fighting the power right now. Things that you play with PE, putting it down, putting your life on the line so I can rap now. The next generation still singing Fight the Pound.
And now, you know what? It seems like we can't get a break. First they want to do a crime emergency because they know they getting ready to raise some hell about this Charlie Kirk thing. But see, that's gonna backfire on them because now they get to run into the popo. Oh, boss. I'm just saying. How can I put it in a musical term? I don't want to step on this girl. Though she rocking that joint. Hold up. Power. Should I join that joint up? Hold up.
The science is an awesome song we can sing. I really want to know why y'all so scared. Probably because the promise land we all most scared. But look, I think of images that fuel my youth. Interviews by Craig Hodges and Abdul Raouf. Examples like Olympic black power salute the Panther truth. I saw as I pursue my truth. Embrace racism as a cancer. Black hook the hate. Gotta go off the back porch. Emancipate your mind. Get your body stacked for rain. And all black hands up for the anthem.
And you know what else? It seemed like we ain't getting no kind of it's like, okay, they gonna say that this guy, whoever he was, had the right to say whatever he did. I mean, you know, that's First Amendment. So, and he did have the right to say whatever he wanted to, just like Charleston White, you know. So, with that said, just watch what you say, because hey, there's consequences to what you say too, you know. And I ain't got a dog in the fight. So it's like, but I do have some dogs in the fight, you know what I mean? Like we getting people laid off and fired and different things over this.
Some employees are on administrative leave after appearing to be celebrating his death. He was shot at a college event in Utah last week. District leaders call that behavior unacceptable, saying in a statement, professional educators are expected to exercise sound judgment and professionalism in and outside the classroom. The district also says it will report the matter to the Georgia Professional Standards Commission. That commission oversees teacher ethics. Both Delta Airlines and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta also disciplining or firing employees over their recent online posts.
I had to walk out of church today over comments about Charlie Kirk. I'm on the verge of tears sitting in this parking lot because I'm having such a complex with my faith. Because I genuinely don't understand how Christians are pushing this man as though hate didn't come out of his mouth and heart on a consistent basis. And I'm genuinely sitting here like, if this is the God that we serve, if this is the reflection of the God we serve, do I want to be a part of it? I'm truly having a conflict with my faith because the leaders that we're supposed to be following are guiding us in this way to feel empathy and sympathy and like that this person was this great Christian and that the message that his wife gave was, it started off with like,
oh, we're gonna come back to that. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that. But point is, what happened to the First Amendment? If we're good for the goose, good for the gander, I think people should be suing their employers if they didn't like what they said about it. because it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? One way or the other. So I'm not here to judge or misunderstand or even try to get into it. I'm just into the First Amendment. All right. Now, speaking of First Amendment,
themselves without fear of government interference. There are a number of categories of unprotected speech.
Hold on. Let's take it from the top. The First Amendment. All right. For those that don't know, the First Amendment.
The First Amendment protects freedoms of speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition. This sounds straightforward, but the First Amendment is still the subject of continuing interpretation and dispute. So let's look at the freedom of speech, which gives Americans the right to express themselves without fear of government interference. There are a number of categories of unprotected speech, including obscenity, true threats, incitement to imminent lawless action, and defamation. But deciding what speech falls within these categories is difficult. In reaching these determinations, courts often look at speech on a case-by-case basis and consider the context in which the speech was made. For instance, political speech, support or opposition of political figures, parties, and/or policies, enjoys stronger First Amendment protection.
There you go.
If speech is political in nature,
Wait a minute.
no matter how
Play that
outrageous
back.
and offensive
For
it
these
might be,
employers out here that think they can get away with that type thing. Personally, I ain't got a dog in the fight, so I ain't got no opinion on it. But for those that do, there you go.
on a case-by-case basis, and consider the context.
And the reason being now is because I ain't never heard of the guy until yesterday. So, can't have opinion about somebody you don't know. That's for sure. Because, you know, we all gonna say some messed up stuff sometime, and we all gonna say some fantastic stuff sometime. So if he says some fantastic stuff and he got some people on his side, so be it. If he says some messed up stuff and got some people wanting to see, now he should have went to a black college and he would have just had an argument with somebody and they would have videoed it and that would have been that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So our people ain't killers like that. You know, but let's play this black because I want y'all to hear this.
The speech was made. For instance, political speech,
support
or opposition of political figures,
support or
parties,
opposition,
and/or policies enjoys stronger First Amendment protection.
What?
If speech is political in nature,
stronger,
no matter how outrageous and offensive it might be, it may still be protected by the First Amendment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This gets complicated.
In other words, that get where he was at. He can say whatever he want to say because it's covered by the First Amendment. As long as you ain't cussing. That's what I say. Because I know some of these platforms, they don't allow that and they'll try whatever they can to take it off anyway. So here we go.
In nature,
the whole reason for me talking about it in the first place is because I want to get to one thing. First Amendment rights, especially being a broadcaster, and also we have the First Amendment right and we got the Second Amendment right. We're going to get to that too.
Just and offensive it might be, it may still be protected by the First Amendment. So, yeah, this gets complicated. The First Amendment protects you from government punishment for what you say in most instances. However, the First Amendment is not unlimited. It protects you from government action, not the action of private organizations or people. Unless you're employed by the government, complaining about your boss could get you fired. Similarly, since social media websites are for the most part private entities, they're the only ones who can police posts on their respective sites. Similar to freedom of speech, freedom of the press allows people to express themselves through publication. This important freedom enables our journalists and reporters to freely report news and stories.
And that's what I'm doing. Hold up.
But this also comes
with that back to the Black Ophenham Lion TV. Hold on, where's my logo? Yeah, put my logo up for this one. Hold up. Black Ophenham Lion TV. Not every, but you know, most of the time, Saturday or maybe both. Thursdays. Okay, now the prescribed time is 9 o'clock, but I changed it. We're gonna do everything on holy time from now on. 7 o'clock. All right, now back to where we were. because this kind of affect me because I want to hear this.
Ones who can police posts on their respective sites.
Aha!
Freedom of
For those that didn't hear me or hear them, because I've been telling people to come on with me too, that when we go on these platforms, this is their platform. They can police it how they want, and they can tell you what not to do all they want. You can't fight the First Amendment on that one because it's their stuff. It's just like going to somebody's house wearing your boots, and they say, "Hey, I don't allow shoes in my house." And you're like, "Well, I got my shoes on anyway. Well, stay your behind outside."
you from government action, not the action of private organizations or people. Unless you're employed by the government, complaining about your boss could get you fired. Similarly, since social media websites are for the most part private entities, they're the only ones who can police posts on their respective sites. Similar to freedom of speech, freedom of the press allows people to express themselves through publication. This important freedom enables our journalists and reporters to freely report news and stories of public interest. But this also comes with some limitations. For instance, defamatory statements are not protected. Again, though, what constitutes defamation also requires a fact-intensive investigation.
I'm just broadcasting.
In addition, the First Amendment protects our right to peacefully assemble or gather together as a group for like-minded social, economic, political, or religious purposes. The First Amendment also protects our right to protest the government. We are free to sign petitions or even file a lawsuit against the government as well. And lastly, in guaranteeing the freedom of religion, the First Amendment prohibits the government from establishing a state religion or from favoring one religion over the other.
Now, are we getting somewhere? Because we got to give the people what they want. Yeah. And that's Black Panther power, and all power to the people. But don't forget the First Amendment, because you know, we got to keep our freedom of speech.
My new favorite sport, crafted with powerful bioenzymes.
They try to slip one in. I'm getting fast at the draw, y'all. But they try to slip one in. Here we go.
Because we have run out of articles. So let's take a look at the original language, a few ways that you could remember them, and some historical context of that language throughout American history in like 5 minutes. So students, lifelong learners, great on the internet, start your engines.
And hit the cash up.
Here we go.
For the info. Hey, I'm giving a master
So even
class.
before we even approach the Bill of Rights and start looking at language, I want to talk about the idea of selective incorporation. It's really important to understand, guys, that the Bill of Rights was written for the federal government, federal law, federal action. The states, in a sense, have their own state constitutions. So it's not going to be until after the 14th Amendment, and there's language in the 14th Amendment. You can click right there and watch my 14th Amendment video that basically says that the states have to succumb to the Bill of Rights concepts of equal protection and due process. And then throughout the 20th century, the court starts selectively incorporating some of the Bill of Rights to the states.
The language of the First Amendment.
Shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Or of the right of the people.
Hold on, y'all. Who in the hell they got reading that? Because it's like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. He don't want us to hear it. That's all I'm saying. So, we're going to do it like this.
States.
We're going to get a more articulate voice to read this. Got to get a more articulate voice to read this thing. Let's see. See if I can find one. Let's see. Okay. Let me put this joint on mute. Let's see. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Wait a minute. Okay, let me take from the top. Whoa, from right about there. Okay, what the hell? Come on now. I'm gonna let him read it in that crazy voice. What the hell? This is a little bit too difficult. I ain't used to reading from a teleprompter. It would have to, I gotta push pause somewhere along the line. So there we go. Oh, I see. We're gonna do it like this. There we go.
To the idea of can I pass a law saying that we're going to say a prayer, in school. So loose interpretationalists have used the Establishment Clause intention of Jefferson and this wall between church and state to build it up pretty high.
The free exercise clause.
So the free exercise clause, guys, basically is freedom of religion. And the court has basically adopted in kind of deciding what the language means of a strict scrutiny test. So if we're going to take away your freedom of religion, your free exercise of religion, we better have a really good reason. Like you belong to the Church of Meth. I don't think that's going to pass the mustard. I think that the strict scrutiny test would include you. You're not allowed to do that.
Hey, what?
So next is free speech, guys. Congress shall make no law abridging free speech. There's always going to be a balancing act, but there's tons of different areas of study in this, whether you're talking about student free speech or free speech during war, commercial free speech, is flag burning free speech, is obscenity free speech. There's so much interesting stuff to take a look at. You certainly probably should do that. But that would be your freedom of speech. We then have war of the press, abridging the press rights. And of course, this really goes to the idea of prior restraint. Can the federal government stop you from printing something because they deem it to be hazardous or a security risk? And that's going to be a balancing act as well. Take a look at New York Times versus the United States, a famous case dealing with the Pentagon Papers and the idea of whether we had the right to know of whether the government was lying to us or whether that was going to violate national security. Look at the WikiLeaks case today, or what Snowden is doing with information from the NSA. Too hot to handle. There's tons in there to do. You also are going to have the right of the people to peacefully assemble.
There you go.
Assembly. This also goes to the idea of right of association. What if you joined the Communist Party in the 1950s?
Black Panther Party.
You have the right to assemble. What if you want to get 1,000
new Black Panther Party for self-defense?
A march in front of City Hall
with the RBG
dogs. Do you need a petition? Lots of cool and interesting stuff looking at that. And then finally, not to abridge the right of petitioning the government for redress of grievances. Your ability as a citizen to lobby your government, to tell the government through protest or letter writing or raising money or however it might be, to address your grievances, your problems from the government. So there you go, guys. 44 words, you can do that. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and petition their government for a redress of grievances. Boom, 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 boom. Where energy flows. Make sure you check out other videos down below in the descriptions. We've got a channel so you can check it out.
Yeah.
Us out on Twitter.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking
there
about.
There you go, guys.
That's a serious boom right there, because when they try to take away our First Amendment, that's going to lead to the Second Amendment. That's going to lead to the Second Amendment, because how the hell they going to tell you who to root for? They've been, like at the baseball games, they've been rooting, you're rooting for your home team. And then you got the visiting team, they coming in from out of town, and they might be relatives of yours that's visiting from out of town. They just got on a different jersey. We all fam, you dig? So ain't nobody killing nobody because of what team they rooting them for. I mean, the hockey, they like to fight. You get them hockey jerseys on now. That's a different story. But see, ain't nobody killing nobody. I ain't seen nobody grab a hockey stick and beat the heck out of nobody yet. You know what I mean? They be grabbing them hockey jerseys and just pound, 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 pound. Both of them hit with the right hand. Well, both of them grabbed each other's left shoulder, and they hit with the right hand. It was like pow, pow, pow. You know what I'm saying? And they got the helmets on. They tilting the head. They're like, man, and he got these big old gloves, right? He's like, man, I got these huge ass gloves, make my hand look like daggone the Incredible Hulk, and I'll beat you. And the other guy's like, yeah, I got them too. They made them on the assembly line, but anyway, even the man, okay. The man that was all for the First and the Right. I mean, all for the First Amendment. And they let him be about that First Amendment. You better not say nothing about him. It's like, what? Man, you must have lost your goddamn mind. Tell me who to root for. I was rooting for, what's his name? Mike Tyson. I didn't know he had a stipulation about, he had to go the whole length of the fight in order to get paid. And also, it said if he didn't go past 4 rounds, he wasn't going to get paid. So in other words, if Mike Tyson wanted to make some money off that, he had to make it go the whole distance. And he wasn't supposed to use that haymaker that he'd been putting people to sleep forever with. He couldn't use none of his artillery. You know what I mean? But still, I wasn't rooting for Jake Paul. I was rooting for Mike Tyson. So if Jake Paul was laid out in the middle of the ring, dead, I was like, damn, Mike, you didn't have to hit him that hard because that's how we are. He's like, wouldn't nobody laugh about it, He went out like an honorable man. Well, not really. Say, man, you tried to pay off the God of War. I was hoping that Mike Tyson would just flick somewhere along in the fight and just say, man, forget the money. Forget the Mike, you're rich enough. He's like, man, I had to pay for a Bengal tiger, a white tiger. I had to pay Robin Givens all that money. They've been getting me left and right. They ain't got no money. Mike Tyson ain't had no money. That's why they had him in a wig in a movie. Otherwise, Mike Tyson will beat your behind if you try to beat your ass, man. Try to put Mike Tyson in a wig. He probably had him jacked up on the wall. You know what I mean? Like have one of them flashbacks of him with what's the dude name? Don King. Mike Tyson have a Don King flashback. That's what I was hoping. I was really hoping. I said, Mike, come on, man, do it. He's like, shoot, he's like $1 million a round, and I gotta take the distance, Shoot. See, now when he get over in Saudi Arabia, king over there gonna be like, Mike, tear his head off. We need to see it. If you got it in you, do it. I'm paying you extra. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I used to work at his mansion in McLean. Was it Prince Bandar? Yep, Saudi Arabian prince, Crown Prince Bandar. See, they can't say it. They can't say Bandar, so I can say it, but it's good, He had a hell of a security force. Them boys was bad. Them was the real dudes, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you got way too much bulging going on under your damn coat there, sir. Say, I know damn well you don't weigh that much. He's like, God damn. Say, he got a Uzi under both arms and a pistol in both pockets. Them guys was not joking and can fight. Fight their ass off. I'm trying to show it. Well, actually, I did show them a couple of moves, because that's what I was into, So, but then they started telling me about there was some hostages in Iran, and they was the ones that went and got them out. I was like, yeah, these the real deals here. So they was working with SEAL Team 6 or something. I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm just here to watch the mansion. Y'all watch your step going on in and wipe your feet. No, I wasn't like that. It's sort of like Django when he left Philip up in the mansion all by himself. I was like, man, I used to go up that place at night. I was like, well, you see the Whitewater Rapids and shit, and the Kennedys and stuff. They out there skinny dipping in their pool and stuff, and they know it's true. But anyway, uh, man, telling you now. I'm like, well, you got to find you a nice quiet spot to smoke your black and mild while you're on your break, and you up in the woods like damn stalker, and the Bigfoot is stalking you, and you don't even know it. But I wasn't like a stalker. I was like, man, I'm just looking over at the rapids, and I look over to my left, and there's a pool party going on. They skinny dipping like a mug. For real. But I want people time. I just say, oh, well, it's time for me to move on because I'm sure they're going to smell that black and mild and be like, who's up in the woods smoking a black and mild? Yeah, I don't know. So maybe it's one of them Saudi Arabian bodyguards, one of them snipers up on the roof, you know what I mean? Actually, they had a mean ass dog, right? Let me turn this joint up. Hold up. I'm messing the song up. I'm gonna let y'all hear this quick shit. But they had a mean ass dog, right? And that dog chew your ass up for real. Come running at me the first time. I was like, oh, righty now. I love a dog like that. I was like, shoot. I went and got a leash. I'm bringing a leash back. And I got that dog food in the can, because they've been giving them that dry dog food, right? And I put that stuff in a bowl form, you know what I mean? For real. This is the memoirs of a Black Panther, for real. I put that joint in a bowl form. He out there, and I come out there. I say, you like that? Here, you want some water? I give him some water. Shoot, next thing you know, I chain that big monster up right outside the front door. I said, shit, I can take it easy now. I ain't got to be walking back and forth looking outside no more. We got this big monster outside. He going to bite somebody. It better not be trying to deliver a package. Say, you deliver a package, you better ring that damn buzzer that's way down at the hill. And plug your ass in. It one of them type places, right? But I felt like I lived in that joint. Because there wasn't nobody there for months, right? They popped in, they popped in one time, right? With the super soldiers and the prince. He looked like a prince too. He carried that shit like a prince. And matter of fact, his wife, I can't remember her name. I probably will in a minute, but I will in a minute. I can't remember her name, but she was king. Both of them. She was a princess, a real princess. Like his dad was King Fahd, and her dad was King Saad, or something like that. But I might got it mixed up. But the ones that know, they can put it in the comments. I don't know like that. I just know Vandahar, and y'all can look it up. Anyway, back to the dog. That was a good part. Yeah, man. I got that big monster outside. I go inside. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn this one down. I got that big monster outside. He was like a big mixed dog, like German Shepherd and it might have been. It looked like a lab. It was a big monster. Labs be fat sometimes. But he had that German Shepherd attitude. I'm a joke, no joking. It looked like he was, maybe he was one of them light brown King Corsos. I don't know. All I know is after I gave him that dog food, me and him was cool. I wasn't trying to mess with him too much. Just enough to get that leash on him I'm patting his head, right, and I got his collar, and then I put that click. There you go. You good to go now, boy. So here I used to leave him big bones too. I make sure he's comfortable. Big bowl of water. We got canned dog food. Forget that dry dog food. And he eat it up fast too. But for real, they got these big beef bones, right? They're about big as your arm, right? And I put them, I put them out, put maybe a couple of them out there. I say, here you go, boy. You stay right here and watch the door. If anybody comes near that door, you know what to do. Just do what you do. Do what you always do. Do what you tried to do to me. And he look at me and I pat him on his head and go on inside. And I got all the security cameras, right? But hey, this is the good part. I'm gonna make y'all wait. Hold on. And I might forget. I had the security cameras right next to the jacuzzi. And the jacuzzi was sitting there. And I say, now, I'm looking out over the water. I'm gonna turn the lights off. I'm looking out over the water, right? I got the security cameras right there. A mean ass dog outside that's gonna start barking. If he start barking, I'm not too far from the door. I hear him, right? And I got the security cameras. Y'all know damn well I got in that damn jacuzzi. Hell yeah! I was gonna tell them that maybe whoever cleaned it, maybe they left bubbles in it. No, I clean that mug immaculate. I mean, I make it look like ain't no DNA in that joint. Hell no. That mud jumper is cleaner than it was when I got in. That for sure. Because y'all know I'm a germophobic anyway, so I clean the hell out of it before I get in that joint. Hell yeah. And when I get out, I'm cleaning it again. I said, man, about a week went by. I even got comfortable with this, right? And somebody a friend of mine give us a case of champagne. I was like, damn, why you gotta give us a case of champagne? Oh, man, that's nice and everything, but damn, what I'm gonna do with a case of champagne? I go, damn, what I'm gonna do? Man, I'm going to the jacuzzi, and I got the dog outside. I got the curtains open so I can look outside over the white water rapids with a glass of champagne in my hand. Now, I could be capping just in case. I wasn't supposed to do that. But they know it was all right because I watch over everything really good. You know what I mean? All I can say is there was a room. I mean, they had all these damn rooms in this spot, right? They even had rooms over the garage. You know what I mean? And they all had HBO. They all had cable. Every last room had a damn flat screen in their joint and a remote. And I'm like, man, I'm set. After I get out the jacuzzi, I'm gonna find the room that don't nobody want. The room over the garage. Don't nobody want that joint. Plus, I can look right over the front, and the dog will wake me up if I fall asleep. Or should I say, when I fall asleep? Well, actually, I was more like, man, I'm enjoying this too much. I was like, shit, it got late. Let me go over here and burn me one in the woods, right? Burn me a Black and Mild. I used to smoke Black and Mild back then. I'm gonna burn me a Black and Mild in the woods and see if they skinny dipping tonight. Enough about me. Let's get black to y'all. Well, it's always been about y'all anyway. It ain't never been about what they wanted to be about. Why they want us to be caring all of a sudden? I mean, come on now. They don't give a golly about us. You know, from a black hole, baby. God, gypsy, man. Let's turn that joint up. World will fly across the land. One soul at a time. Know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, need to be on your knees praying. Uh-oh, that sounds just like me for a minute there, but that wasn't me. Was it? Oh, check it out. Gotta set it off. Do you feel the thunder? Heaven on earth. Let's go up yonder. When we get to the promised land, won't see no footprints in no sand. Oh. When the fly across the land. Know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Need to be on your knees. Know what I'm saying? Hey. Oh, let me put a new scoop on it. I'm Black Lion, and I ain't lying. I'll be out in the cold with the cold steel with the red flying. Oh, yeah. But let's get back to where we were. Now, all I'm saying is we understand the 13th and 14th Amendment, but we also understand the First and the Second Amendment. The First Amendment saying I have the right to say as I please, as long as there's certain, criteria and whatnot, especially for the press, and especially when it comes to political views. There you go. Can't mess with a person's political views. Now, if they're doing something that's crazy, like down there at, when they invaded the Capitol, that's a different story. If their jobs want to get involved in that. But if they want to say, hey, I was rooting for Mike Tyson on that fight, that's on them. You know what I mean? And let's just say, if Trump were to have his demise, or when he have his demise, of course there's going to be people crying, and there's going to be people celebrating in the streets. Those people that are celebrating in the streets have the First Amendment right to do so. Now, I'll put it like this. If we can't get our First Amendment right, never mind. I think you know where I'm going with that. Let's go black to the way black machine one more time.
Just like this Vanguard does. I don't shoot this rifle very often because I'm a suppressor nerd, and I bought this before I had suppressors, so it's not threaded for that. I do need to get it threaded because this is too good of a rifle just to be sitting in my safe. But just like the assailant's weapon, this does shoot the 30-06 round. This is for my M1 Garand. Here's a close-up of that 30-06 round right there. The name means basically 30 caliber bullet, and it was designed in 1906, 30-06. I did a similar video last year when Trump got shot, but in that case, it was a 5.56 round. And in comparison, that is the 30-06. Quite a big difference. This one takes down a deer very easily.
That's a big bullet.
5.56 oftentimes isn't even legal for use on deer hunts. I've not seen a picture of the rifle just yet, but the leaked info said it's an older model Mauser chambered in 30-06, which would be very similar to this, of course. Some of those rifles were converted from World War II rifles, rebarreled and reached.
Now he's talking about the gun that was supposedly, allegedly, the weapon that unalived Kirk, if he was unalived at all.
The 30-06 and drilled for scope mounts. And some of them were commercially made products. We don't know which one.
But that's their theory, not
as far
mine.
as what the shooter used. So it could have been a commercially made rifle that was imported through usually like Century International Arms. They imported a ton of them, but they also imported some of the converted rifles as well. While editing this video, they released a picture of the rifle, and it's way more modern than I thought it would be. I'm used to the curio relic, very old stuff from World War II and things of that nature. I was wrong. It's actually a modern Mauser, pretty much for the most part. Has a
way
on it,
too
a
far
nice
back
scope, and
on
of
that
course
rifle.
it is
Plus, nobody would have
So it
stopped
is
and
almost
put it
identical
together
to this
before they
weathered.
ditched it. If they're going to ditch it, they're going to leave it in pieces.
The assailant had 3 rounds left in the internal magazine and 1 spent cartridge still in the chamber. He never unchambered that round. Now, normally they hold 5 rounds of 30-06. Now, of course, I've removed the bolt for safety because these are live rounds. So 1, 2, and just like any Mauser-based firearm action,
Feel free to join me on the live, y'all. It's the same link as usual.
A AR-15 or something of that nature, or M14. That last round is kind of sticky, if I remember correctly, in this rifle. There we go. So it holds barely 5 rounds. So more than likely, maybe the shooter had some issues getting that 5th round in and left it with 4 rounds. Maybe he only had 4 rounds, or maybe it could be a model of Mauser that only held 4 rounds of 30-06.
If he had trouble getting that 5th round in, someone could shoot it. Why would he bother with it? He only needed 1 shot.
A lot of people have also been asking me about the quality of shooter. How good of a shot would you have to be to make that 200-yard shot? Would you have to be a sniper and shoot an actual sniper rifle? Which, yes, this is an official Russian Mosin Nagant that was designated a sniper rifle. I would not take this one into battle, even though it shoots pretty well. The Mosin Nagants, even the sniper variants, only shot maybe 3-inch MOA, which is pretty pathetic when compared to a modern rifle. So I do not think that the shooter necessarily had to be some sort of operator, some sort of sniper, anything of that nature, but they did have to be a pretty good shot, and I'll tell you why. First of all, 200 yards. 200 yards is a good distance. I mean, go to your shooting range, look at a target that's 200 yards out there. That's pretty far. You think about maybe like a full-size watermelon at 200 yards. I mean, that's going to be small. You're going to be covering it up with your thumb at arm's length. The shooter more than likely had some good trigger time behind a rifle, probably even that particular rifle they used that day. So while 200 yards was a difficult shot, it would not necessarily need an operator, a sniper, or
that'd be a hard shot for me
in the armed forces to make that shot. A competent hunter could have made that shot with the correct gear. And that correct gear would be basically a decent hunting rifle and a decent scope attached to it with some trigger time behind there to get it dialed in.
He had trigger time, so they say.
And that is pretty important.
It might be a fancy.
If I
always pick somebody that's going to fit the mold.
If I took my wife down to the shooting range and set her up with this rifle or my 6.5 Creedmoor rifle, gave her an entire box of ammo, she would eventually hit that target at 200 yards. And she has no experience with a rifle whatsoever. But the cold bore shot is hard to anticipate because it's going to be different than all the subsequent rounds after that. So you're going to need that rifle set up for the 1-shot cold bore shot, which basically means the barrel had not been heated up by previous firings. It's completely cold, not been shot that day, and you know where that bullet's going to hit because you sighted that scope in for that particular shot. Not the warm bore shots, which basically, after you fire some rounds, the barrel will kind of settle down and get more and more accurate as it heats up to its operating temperature, which is great when you're at the shooting range, just firing some rounds downrange at paper. But when you're hunting, you want to set up your rifle for the first shot, the 1 shot that would take down your deer, which would be the cold bore shot. Again, it's not the most accurate that rifle can shoot, because they shoot much better once the barrel's been warmed up. There was also the fact that it was not at a normal shooting range. It was not at a comfortable way to shoot.
Put something in the comments, y'all, so that I can keep the algorithms up. Was a star, a heart, a happy face?
Conducive to a
don't matter.
shooting experience, which is kind of the name of the game when you're about to commit an atrocity. In conclusion, I don't think this was a sniper.
I might be out of here in a
using
minute.
a real sniper rifle.
I don't like to keep y'all in here over an hour.
Operator.
It's just a quick class, master class.
I think
Kick
it
that
was
ass.
someone who had a third time, been hunting a few times, was a decent shot, maybe got a little bit.
What I'll do
on top of
is
that,
try to do
and
the
decided
right
to use
thing.
that skills and
That's all we can
probably
do.
grandpa's old rifle to commit a
Is
horrific
report the
atrocity.
news. That's
I
all
hope
we need.
They come to judgment.
That's the right thing to do. You
Well,
know
guys,
what I
it's
mean?
my day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like, subscribe. A lot more is on the way. I will try to leave.
And yeah, like I say, in our communities, we're not killers, so we don't know about all that. You know what I mean? We beat you down. That's just like in LA. That you know they catch fades. You know what I mean? And take your tennis shoes if you think you're that bad. So they better stop acting like this is our problem. This is their domestic problem, and they need to deal with it accordingly and leave us the hell up out of it because, like I say, don't forget about. Wait a minute, did we talk about the Second Amendment?
The First Amendment to our Constitution is as follows. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, of abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Well done, gentlemen, the First Amendment. Right.
I don't own the rights to
Now,
that.
what shall we discuss next? What is the second most important principle of our nation?
Guns.
Excuse me.
Guns.
I don't hate that. Well, I do. It's ridiculous. So, what is your name?
Matt.
Matt what?
Matt, don't you worry about it.
Well, Matt, what will posterity say of us if the second right we enshrine in this document is simply guns?
That we don't play.
Damn, that's actually kind of sick. Yes. No. The idea is ludicrous. Wait, now hold on. I mean, we did just make a law that said anyone can say whatever crazy stuff they want, right? Maybe this gun thing would kind of balance that out.
Bingo.
Okay, yes, but by the same token, wouldn't having a gun embolden people to say crazy stuff as well?
Bro, what?
Yeah, let's make that make sense. Gentlemen, we cannot just have an amendment that says guns. What about guns?
Having them.
Love it. Smart. Like, who is this guy? Why isn't he running this? Matt, I am open to discussing guns for a later amendment, but I must insist we move on to a more pressing concern. You're screaming. So angry. Sir, where are you from exactly?
America.
Yes, but where in America? Which state?
A united one.
Oh, wow. Well said. So true. Can we still like be on our money? Who is this guy? Have guns, really, gentlemen? That's what we want the Second Amendment to be. Have guns. That sounds idiotic.
Just chill. Not have guns. They're armed.
Ooh, that is so good! That sounds smart as hell. Yeah, okay, I'm freaking sold. I'm writing it down. Amendment to the right to bear arms. I just got chills. Yeah.
Well, my work here's done.
Wait, Matt, will we ever see you again?
Depends on where you look.
I see which minutes up.
Okay.
60 seconds on the Second Amendment and why it still matters today. Let's go. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment, ratified in 1791. Now, some say it's about muskets, but really, it's about power balance. The founders had just fought a revolution against a government that tried to control speech and arms.
There you go. Wait a minute, hold on.
60 seconds on the Second Amendment and why it still matters today. Let's go. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment, ratified in 1791. Now, some say it's about muskets, but really, it's about power balance. The founders had just fought a revolution against a government that tried to control speech and arms. The Second Amendment isn't just about hunting. It's a safeguard. It protects your right to defend your home, your family, and yes, your freedom to speak your mind. Without it, the First Amendment could be just words on paper. The right to bear arms is the right to resist tyranny if necessary, and that makes every other right possible.
Oh, are we getting somewhere? Are we getting somewhere?
60 seconds on the Second
I
Amendment.
hope they understand that if the First Amendment is going to be backed up by the Second Amendment. I mean, that's the common sense. Even this guy said it.
What is your stance on guns in terms of like gun control?
I'm very pro Second Amendment.
So you believe, I'm assuming that like by making guns illegal, criminals are still going to get their hands on guns, correct?
Let me tell you my position, okay? The Second Amendment is there to protect all the other amendments against a potentially tyrannical government. If we act as if that has not happened in history, we're not even reading our 20th century history. I fully acknowledge and admit, when you allow gun ownership, you're going to have gun deaths. There is a cost to liberty. If you argue for Second Amendment rights and say that you're going to get gun deaths to zero, that is a falsehood. That is also why I support driving. I think driving is a moral good, but you're going to have people that die in auto fatalities. Liberty comes at a price. And so I believe that, yes, there will be costs and consequences of having firearm ownership, but the positives far outweigh the negatives.
Whoa. Well, all right now.
What is your stance on guns?
Wasn't me. They are speaking for themselves tonight. I'll tell you that. And that's all right with me. I just like put the news out there. You know what I mean? So how y'all doing tonight? And it is Monday, September the 15th. Some of y'all might just be getting off and coming to hang out with me. All you gotta do is make sure you follow or subscribe, whatever it is that is available, and then it'll pop up. That way you ain't gotta worry about missing nothing. You know what I mean? Because I'll be giving it to you sometime right while it's happening. You know, like when we bombed, I mean not we, when Trump bombed the Iran nuclear facilities, shoot, as soon as he went live, I was live, so y'all gotta be with me. That's the only way you're gonna catch it. Because sometimes you might be jamming your music and you don't even know what's happening. You know what I mean? So, too many people are watching Charleston White. I mean, that's cool and everything for comic relief. I like him too. He got to say something absurd, and that's just Charleston. So why in the hell would they ask him anything? You know? Unless, of course, they want an absurd answer. That's all I got to say about it. So they got HBCUs, I mean, black colleges under fire over something that ain't none of our concern. You know what I mean? Just because of freedom of speech.
Across the country woke up to bomb threats today. As a result, some schools were temporarily put on lockdown until the all clear was given.
Always schools.
DC Howard University dealing with the second
cowards
in 2 days.
Based on the evidence
they want to attack our schools
so far, and the corporation that we're seeing
black schools, black states,
sister HBCUs,
take it out on us.
We're on a good path to find out exactly who this person
Why?
is.
Because a lot of people didn't like them.
Their location as well.
So what?
Tonight, the FBI says they're working with their partners to address any.
A lot of people don't like Trump.
Congressional
Big
leaders
deal.
are
Who
calling
cares?
for a swift response from law enforcement.
I mean, the family's scared.
Putting out a statement with the Congressional Black Caucus, saying these.
Or is it just a ploy, a play? I think it's a play. I think we getting played, y'all. Uh-oh. I think we getting played. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's like a movie script. It's like you bring in the National Guard and everything, and now you give the people a reason to fight. But who's the idiot that said it had anything to do with us? I mean, come on. You got white folks applauding this guy's demise. You got black folks crying over his demise. So it's a mixed thing. You know, it's like John Cena. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. So, you know, it's always going to be that way. You know what I mean? Especially for a black revolutionary. You know, to say, well, he was that man. Anyway, black to business. So yeah, we getting bomb threats at black schools over this nonsense, and this and that, you know. And when it comes to affecting us, we got to protect us. That's all I got to say about that. And was it a play? Was it a play? Because a lot of people saying it was a play, you know, because it could have been a move that was orchestrated to spark a different movement. And they pushing that movement pretty hard. They pushing that movement damn near like it's the new Black Panther movement or something. You know, it's like the new Black Panther. It's the White Panthers. Or something. I don't know. Anyway, we gotta be out here recruiting up now, because they recruiting up big time, and they all got guns. Even in the spots where you're not supposed to have guns. Say we're not supposed to have them, but they got them. Ain't that something? So make sure you stay where you can stay locked and loaded. That's all I got.
Bowie State University, they're supposed to be havens of tranquility, ivory towers for the pursuit of knowledge. But on Monday, this predominantly black university in Maryland was forced to shut down campus. As announced on social media, they'd received a bomb threat, and Bowie State University wasn't alone. After a series of threats across the United States on Monday to historically black colleges and universities, which are known as HBCUs, on Tuesday, over a dozen campuses also received bomb threats. While no explosives were found, the White House said the FBI was investigating.
We are assessing what we think the origin, the reasoning, the motivation behind it is. We absolutely are behind these HBCUs. We are want to make very clear that we take these threats seriously.
The many threats come on the first 2 days of Black History Month, and as the U.S. continues to grapple with rampant racial injustice.
How about that? Let that sink in. Black History Month. They're gonna threaten to bomb black schools. So that's what I'm here. That's what my report is about. My report ain't really about them, but since they got this sparked off, we better be paying attention, because whatever this movement they got going on, it's all about the ladies now. And you should have seen that coming. Come on now. It's the ladies about to try to run the world again, but they might succeed this time. You never know. So I see the parallels, you know, like the blonde girl on the train, and then the sister in PG County, you know, both of them young and upcoming, and one black killed by an illegal immigrant who can get the death penalty because he's an illegal immigrant that just killed a United States citizen. As Trump said, you kill a United States citizen or law enforcement, you get a death penalty. And then this guy on the train with the Ukrainian girl, you know, Trump sees it and like, oh, horrible. They call for the death penalty again, you know, and say, oh, now here's the ploy. Boom, boom. You got to send what you call it? Now you got to send troops and call an emergency on North Carolina, which North Carolina is a nice peaceful spot. So you really that's unnecessary. That was an isolated incident, and he was talking to somebody. He said, "I got the white girl." So if he said I got the white girl, he's talking to somebody either on the earphone or the implant that he said he had in his head. That's what he said. I didn't say it. He said it. I just remember him saying that he had an implant in his head and he was doing what he was told to do. So a lot of this stuff might be scripted. It might be something to spark it off. Either way, even if he's just playing crazy so they can get the insane clause put on in the courtroom and not get the death penalty, whatever it is, who knows? We'll never know. That's for sure, because we ain't in the heads. I wish I could interview somebody. That's for sure. That know. So if you know, put it in the comments, inbox me, whatever. We got to get it.
A rise in white supremacy groups and concerns over voter suppression.
Whenever African Americans begin to kind of push for rights, push for recognition, our institutions have been targeted by those who seek to silence those voices.
Howard University, perhaps the most known of the U.S.'s historically black colleges, received multiple threats. Their head of police expressed relief that no bombs were found, but lamented the drain on the university's resources and the unnecessary mental burden that such threats of violence create.
And that's just after the FBI leave the city, because the federal emergency is over and Trump's trying to get another federal emergency going.
And it was a cold.
So, I think it's a setup. We all getting played. And that's just my theory about it, because never can say goodbye. No. Excuse me, I slipped off for a minute there. What I was gonna say though is that you can't really tell what's happening, because just like when Vince McMahon's car blew up, hell, if they had did that in public, everybody would think the man's dead and he on his way to Epstein Island or wherever they go when they disappear. And they got Tupac playing on stage with Biggie, you know what I mean? And Elvis in the crowd, you know? Something like that. Nah, Elvis probably gone by now.
It's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater? Let's go. You guys.
Oh, South Park.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are now. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generation throughout all your dwellings. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
After Charlie Kirk was fatally gunned down while speaking at a college event yesterday, some MAGA supporters are pointing the finger at South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, alleging they helped fuel the hatred that led to the conservative influencer's assassination as a result of one of the show's recent episodes. The second episode of season 27, titled Got a Nut, originally aired August 6th and immediately drew attention for lampooning Kirk's college-speaking style. In the episode, one of the show's iconic characters, Eric Hartman, parodied Kirk, adopting his mannerisms for a satirical college debate podcast while sporting his iconic hairstyle and look. The lampoon climaxed with Cartman receiving the Charlie Kirk Award for Young Master Debaters. Days after the episode aired, Kirk himself laughed off the mockery.
Okay, everybody, the South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious.
Kirk even told Fox News at the time he had grown up watching South Park and considered the parody part of being in the public arena. But after his death, the satire has become a flashpoint, as MAGA conservatives online have alleged Parker and Stone fueled a fire that contributed to Kirk's death. One ex-user posted, "South Park certainly fermented the hatred necessary to get Kirk assassinated." Another outright fumed, "Trey Parker and Matt Stone are responsible for this." And a Turning Point USA staffer posted on Telegram, "Comedy has consequences. Charlie was targeted in the culture, before he was targeted in real life. A petition has even started racking up signatures demanding the network apologize for airing the parody, and has already gotten more than 100,000 signatures in its first day. Comedy Central quietly removed the rerun of the episode Got a Nut from its cable lineup, just hours after Kirk's death. The Paramount Skydance-owned network slotted in episode 1 from the same season instead. The network did not issue a public statement, but confirmed to industry outlets that the episode was temporarily pulled from its cable rotation. However, it remains available to stream on Paramount Plus with a subscription.
They say, however, you want to buy that joint, we got it for you. I mean, I'm just laughing at what he's, the little plug he put in at the end there. They're going to get that money. You know what I mean? I ain't laughing about nobody's death, of course. Not, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, because all life is precious, all I got to say about it. And especially if it's like you talking about, like when Nipsey Hussle had his demise. Everybody was talking like Nip was a saint in the hood, up and coming anyway, So I didn't see nobody rioting white folks over it. That's all I gotta say. But I think I better close this out with Erica Kirk. The first time speaking since her husband Charlie's assassination, they want to call it. I say unaliving. Because did they say assassination when it came to Nipsey Hussle? I don't think so. But then again, we'd have to research that too. But so hey, certain people got a lot of love from a lot of folks. That's all I gotta say, Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that for sure. You know what I mean? Hope they have riots when I leave too. Well, no, not riot, protest. I want people protesting. I want people protesting in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So y'all better make sure the Black Lightning Band, Earth Sky Band, is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Right next to Bootsy Collins, between Bootsy Collins and the Isley Brothers. And maybe it would be like a couple of steps behind Henry. Okay, next song. Oh, good. More of that. That slide, y'all. With the super drummer Tyrone Trey, the beat master, off the muscle. That would be the beat master Tyrone off Trey. Call him off the muscle, and the beat master. That's the power drum. And y'all hold on, because I'm if everybody hit the Cash App all at one time, I'll stop the music right now and go ahead and play Erica Kirk. But if I don't hear a bell or something going off, a little alert, then guess what? What? Oh man, come on now. Send me a cup of coffee, y'all. All I need is enough for coffee. You know, a little Starbucks, you know what I mean? So at least a penny or 20. I don't think you can send a penny, but I ain't never tried. I don't think you can send $1. You might be able to send $1. So if 10,000 people send me $1 right now, man, I'm gonna stop the music immediately. But I ain't heard no bell go off, so that is what it is. Now everybody ain't got to send me $100 or $1,000. Hell, y'all can send me $10,000. But then I think you might have to make like 3 payments on Cash App. I don't know if you can send over $1,000 a day, but if you can't, all you gotta do is save it, wait till the next day, because we need these funds. I'm not joking. You gotta get some microphones, you gotta get some nice quality cameras, because I sent those other little cameras back with the little microphones, but they ain't jack. Unless you plugging it into the video system. Now that works like a charm. Plugging it into the video system, shit, that's all you need. But if you actually trying to video yourself, it's coming out fast forwarded. It's coming out looking like when them old movies, a black and white movie back in the time when they ain't had no sound, and all you see is Mud Jumper going real fast, and they got the little music that somebody playing the piano real fast behind them. I could actually do that, but I don't think I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on. I might play along with this though. I promise y'all Erica Turk, but damn, this song had to come on. What the hell? Shit. Oh, come on now. Why they had to do this to me, y'all? I did not want to turn the keyboard. can hear me over there. Move this over a little bit. Let me put it in the middle. Oh, put it right here. I don't know if y'all hear both. Yeah, Earth Sky One to the rescue. Thank you. We love you too. Right. Good to get that in. All right now. Okay. Next. Second All right. We've been jamming out for a minute. I'm gonna get back to business. Here we go. Y'all was waiting patiently, but her speech ain't that long, so I ain't joking. It's kind of quick. She be pulling the punches. Oh, wait a minute. On mine, it was quick because I'm like, man, I ain't advertising nothing except for unless y'all trying to recruit over here. Y'all trying to recruit over here? Sure, I'll put it out. Other than that, anybody else, you gotta get muted. Sorry, Charlie, but we don't play music over there. Won't see no footprints in no sand now. Oh, we already played that. Good. I can go right to the song. I mean, right to the front stage passes, y'all. Well, this is one man show. Say, I'm a Scott gypsy. You dig? Directional pull from the black hole, maybe. Baby. Gypsy man, riding this world and on fire across the land. That's an ophenum, a black ophenum, you know. So now, when Ezekiel saw the angels at different angels, different realms of the angels, right? He saw the one, the ophenum, which was it was like it got wings covering his face and his arms, and wings covering the legs, right? And a face of a man, a face of a ox, an eagle, and the last one, the face of a lion. So that was the Ophenum lion, you know? That's what that represents. And it had like the wheel where they have eyes everywhere. In other words, we got eyes everywhere because we got people everywhere, you know? As long as you got people everywhere, you got eyes everywhere. We all need to be united, you know? One body, you know what I mean? Yeah. And don't get lost in the okie doke. All kind of mysticism and this and that. It's all good, but we got to keep it black. And don't let any of this affect us. And I'm gonna get right to that. What's her name? Erica Kirk speaks. Let's see. Erica Kirk speaks after husband's assassination. I used to try to hold a note to make you fall out. Try to hold one of my notes. We go right into this, and then like non-stop. You're like, man, I got a lightheaded one time trying to hold a note. I ain't trying to hold one of them notes now. They're like, make sure there's a chair behind me. When I hold this damn note so long, I'm gonna need a chair behind me. Bring me some oxygen. You know, an oxygen tank and a chair sitting there. And you know what to do next. Yep. Fall back in that chair, get my oxygen and my champagne. Anyway, nah, I don't need no champagne. We don't need nothing clouding our thinking. You can cloud your senses all day, just don't cloud your thinking. Something make you calmer, especially about situations where you would normally just go ape shit. You know what I mean? Ape skips. You know, I said eight scented chips. And yeah, I mean, sometimes you have 8 chips. Y'all ain't never had 8 chips. Anyway, I had 8 chips every now and then. But we don't need 8 chips all the time. What we need is to have freedom of speech. Say what you will, as long as those words ain't you trying to catch a fade. I'm like, you trying to catch a baseball bat. With barbed wire around. Gotta have the one wrapped in barbed wire. Now, you can order them online, but I know a little pawn shop. They got one of them joints right in that pawn shop, and this is not one of them ones that you get online. This is something out of a madman's basement that he actually built to hurt you real bad, make sure he can catch you. You know, he don't want to just hit you. You know, like you hit somebody with a baseball bat and he knocks you into the other room. He'll hit you with the baseball bat and that stick to your clothes. Hell, damn barbed wire, that might stick to your clothes, stick to your skin, and he just rip you backwards. Now he's going to do one of two things. He's going to rip your sweater off of your back along with some skin, or he's going to rip you, man, you going backwards. You know, depending on where he grab you at. You know? Especially if he's proficient with that damn barbed wire baseball bat, he might just hit you right where the suspenders is at on your damn bib overalls because your country ass shouldn't have been down there in the first place. But anyway, that's all another story. Now let me get back to business. Hope y'all didn't hear that last joke because it was kind of corny. But the cornier the better, as long as you ain't cussing, because that's part of the First Amendment. You can say whatever you want to say as long as you ain't cussing. You know what I mean? I mean, you can be cussing too. I guess as long as you ain't cussing loud. Yeah, say it loud. If you don't say it loudly, it wasn't cussing. I mean, something like that. Anyway, you still got your First Amendment. They can't do jack about it. But if you work for the, let's see. If you work for Burger King, I would suggest you keep your ideas to yourself. That's all I'm saying. And back to business. Uh-oh. Okay, I promised y'all this speech, Erica Kirk, and here we go.
Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strife, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of the martyr. Charlie loved loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. He's such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and then find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. In this world, you have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew, he could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room, every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one, a Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, This country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby. Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strives to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I missed you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who loved my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
Erica Kirk making remarks. Just moments ago, Charlie Kirk's widow with her first statement since the tragic loss of her husband, as we take a live vantage point at the ever-growing memorial for Charlie Kirk outside of TPUSA's headquarters in the Phoenix Metro. Our coverage continues.
And with that said, pulling into the station here, we're going to cover this next.
I was familiar with this sort of thing. I was quite sure that this was what was in progress.
We're going to cover this tomorrow. I was going to cover it tonight, but the topic had been pretty hot. I figured, well, we got some footage on it too. You know what I mean? Go down the rabbit hole. I ain't even went down the rabbit hole. I'm just reporting the news. I have no comments yet until the First Amendment is recognized. Before that Second Amendment have to be recognized.
A sleepy southern town steeped in tradition finds itself targeted for invasion. Across the South, the legacy of racial hatred is about to be challenged, but not the fight. Before it would end, 3 civil rights workers would vanish, drawing the eyes of the world to the quiet community.
Yeah, I'm gonna cover that next. And I know we ain't got time to do it tonight, or we'll be doing it tonight, you know? Let it flash across the screen, you know, about the 3 slain civil rights leaders. Them 3 right there, you know what I mean? You know, tell the whole story, you know? But somebody got to tell the whole story, right? Hey, we got to stay on top of what's affecting us. And that's why I'm covering everything, because that's affecting us too. Anyway, these are the 3 slain civil rights leaders that they are about to talk about here. Hold on, let's play a little piece of it. Give y'all appetizer. Give y'all a little appetizer. My drummer better.
1964, Mississippi stood at the crossroads of history. It didn't want to be there. It had no choice. For the black population, the sultry air held the fragrant promise of civil rights. For much of the white population, it was to be a summer of heated intolerance. Violence rumbled throughout the South, but a touchdown in Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm Jim Kallstrom, former director of the FBI's New York office. The disappearance of 3 civil rights workers drew the attention of the nation to the small southern town. Named for the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia was not living up to its namesake. For in it, brotherhood was divided by race, and the city was ruled by men hiding behind hooded sheets. To solve the mystery of the missing workers, the FBI had to infiltrate and expose the Klan's invisible empire.
And y'all know what that means. That means there's biddy. There's more where that came from. Ha ha! Better believe that. So, let's see. Tuesday is Shabaka. What's today? Monday? Yep, today's Monday the 15th. So Tuesday the 16th we'll be tuning in to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And see, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest up. And Thursday for the Black Revolutionary Hotline. I think we're going to have to bring y'all that, you know? Bring y'all that on the hotline for sure, you know? All right, well, I think that's enough for tonight, and everything's all right. Just hit the Cash App, and not asking y'all to crash out, just to get the cash out, you know? Play a hurt somebody. And whether your gift is small or substantial, know that it is deeply appreciated and your presence here is a blessing. So with that said, I'm out of here. Black power, all power to the people, all power to the tribes.
I went to St. Louis, Missouri the other day. They had Black Panthers from all over the country. No one knew about it at all. They had machine guns, recoilless rifles, grease guns, Lugers, 25 of them, all armed. And the chief policeman here at the airport when I arrived, they were there, right there at the steps. He said you were violating the law. Yeah, we're violating the law. He said, we're tired of our white and black leaders, Jackie and Martin and Bobby being killed. We're going to protect this man while he's here. They didn't arrest one of them. He if you arrest one, then someone's going to die because we are ready to kill. Black power means black dignity. Just as surely as you're proud to be white, we're proud to be black. Black is beautiful, baby. It's pretty. I always say to my brothers, I say, they don't worry about white chicks. We got everything from chalk to charcoal in our own race. And that's it. Black is beautiful. Black power means dignity. Means we're gonna walk side by side with you, or through you. We're gonna be with dignity and integrity. We don't want any more than you have, and we're not gonna accept any less than you have. That's good enough.
I will never say that progress is being made. If you take a knife and my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me. And they haven't even begun to pull the knife out, much less trying to heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.